Hollywood is known for its glitz, glamour, and blockbuster movies that capture the hearts of millions around the world. However, behind the scenes, there have been some jaw-dropping scandals that have rocked Tinseltown to its core. From affairs and breakups to lawsuits and criminal charges, the entertainment industry has seen it all. Despite Hollywood's best efforts to keep these scandals under wraps, the truth always has a way of coming out. In this article, we're going to take a deep dive into 10 of Hollywood's biggest scandals that the industry tried to hide. Get ready to be shocked and surprised by the top biggest scandals that Hollywood tried to hide. 1. Fatty Arbuckle's manslaughter charge. In 1921, Hollywood experienced its first major scandal when comedian Fatty Arbuckle was charged with manslaughter following the death of actress Virginia Rappe. After the two met at a party and ended up in a hotel room together, Rappe was heard screaming in pain and later died due to a ruptured bladder. Arbuckle was accused of rape and accidental killing, but the charges were eventually dropped after 3 trials. On a lighter note, Florence Henderson, known for portraying Carol Brady on The Brady Bunch, once went on a date with co-star Barry Williams, who played her on-screen son Greg. Though they went out to dinner and shared a kiss, it was a one-time event, and Henderson went home to her husband and children. In another scandalous rumor, it was said that actress Joan Crawford appeared in an adult film called Velvet Lips as a teenager before she became famous. MGM Studios, where she signed as a big star, worked to find and destroy the movie with the help of notorious fixer Eddie Mannix, who may have collaborated with the mob to do so. Though it's unclear how they obtained the film, it was never released to the public. 2. The Mafia Killing. In 1958, Lana Turner was dating Johnny Stompanato, a known mobster, despite her dangerous taste in men. The relationship was tumultuous and ended tragically when Stompanato was found stabbed to death in Turner's house. Turner's 14-year-old daughter was arrested for the murder, but she claimed that she acted in self-defense to protect her mother from Stompanato's assaults. Turner herself testified in court and provided details about the events of that tragic evening. The jury ultimately concluded that the daughter's actions were justified by the need for self-defense. Later on, there were rumors that Turner had actually murdered her husband and framed her daughter for the crime. 3. The mysterious death of Paul Byrne. Paul Byrne, a producer married to Jean Harlow, was found dead in their home in 1932 in what was initially thought to be a suicide. The police discovered a strange message he had written to Harlow expressing regret for the wrong he had done to her, with the final line stating that last night was only a comedy. No one could decipher the meaning of the message, and Harlow refused to answer any questions about it. Before he married Harlow, Byrne was in a serious relationship with Dorothy Millett. When Millett fell into a coma, doctors informed Byrne that she would never regain consciousness. By the time Millett awoke from her coma, Byrne had met and married Harlow, and his life had taken a new turn. He invited Millett to his home, and it's believed that he forced Harlow to leave for the evening, possibly through an argument. Byrne's body was discovered the next day with a gun and a mysterious note. Millett disappeared for 9 days, and her body was eventually found in a river, with suicide suspected. The entire incident is stranger than fiction. 4. Judy Garland was forced to starve herself. As a teenager, Judy Garland signed up with MGM and was immediately subjected to intense pressure to maintain a slim appearance. She endured grueling work and constant verbal abuse from producers and crew who insulted her weight and appearance. At age 18, she was put on a strict diet of coffee, cigarettes, and diet pills by MGM founder Louis B. Mayer. Garland was given pep pills to stay slim and alert, followed by sleeping pills to rest, and then more pep pills to keep going. These drugs likely included amphetamines and barbiturates, which ultimately led to her addiction and untimely death at age 47. Sadly, Judy Garland was not the only victim of the diet pill culture at MGM. Debbie Reynolds recalls that the studio sent a doctor to give her vitamin shots to maintain a healthy weight, but the injections actually contained amphetamines. Fortunately, Reynolds refused and avoided disaster. 5. Female stars pressured into abortions. The pervasive influence of Hollywood studios during the golden age of cinema extended far beyond the silver screen, as evidenced by their ability to dictate the private lives of their stars. It's a well-known fact that several of the most iconic actresses of the time, such as Judy Garland, Jean Harlow, and Joan Crawford, were pressured into having abortions by the studios that employed them. The level of control that studios exerted over their actors' lives is difficult to fathom in today's world. The power dynamic was such that numerous actresses and other celebrities were not given the option to choose whether or not to undergo an abortion. It was simply forced upon them by their respective studios. In instances where an actress was unmarried or having an affair, she would be given a false name and discreetly sent to the hospital to undergo the procedure, effectively erasing any evidence of the studio's involvement in the matter. This manipulation of women's bodies and choices for the sake of preserving the studio's public image is a dark stain on Hollywood's history and serves as a reminder of the dangerous consequences of unchecked power and influence. 6. John Lennon outraged religious Americans. Despite John Lennon's involvement in several controversies throughout his lifetime, the one that seemed to stir the most outrage among religious Americans was his statement that the Beatles were more popular than Jesus. Initially published in the London Evening Standard in March 1966, the statement did not create much of a stir. However, when it was republished in the teen magazine Datebook 4 months later, the controversy escalated. Some American radio DJs even smashed Beatles records on air and encouraged their listeners to send in their Beatles records and merchandise to meet the same fate. In addition to this controversy, Lennon's song Imagine also stirred some controversy due to its lyrics about a world with no religion. Despite the initial backlash, the song went on to become an instant hit and is now considered a masterpiece. 7. Natalie Wood died under serious circumstances. Natalie Wood died in strange circumstances at age 43 while on a boat ride with her husband Robert Wagner and Christopher Walken. She was known for her 3 Oscar nominations. Her death was initially ruled accidental, but new evidence about an argument with Wagner came to light, and the case was reopened in 2018. Jackie Coogan made millions from acting in 19 films, including The Kid with Charlie Chaplin, but his parents took all his earnings. In 1938, he filed a lawsuit to recover the funds, but after legal fees, he was only awarded $126,000. His lawsuit helped create the California Child Actors Bill. Thomas Ince was a film pioneer who died under mysterious circumstances while celebrating with William Randolph Hearst in 1924. The Hollywood rumor mill suggested that Hearst shot Ince, mistaking him for Charlie Chaplin, who he believed was having an affair with his wife. Some people think Walt Disney was anti-Semitic, but there is little evidence to support this. He gave a warm welcome to Nazi filmmaker Leni Riefenstahl and gave her a tour of Disneyland in 1938. 8. The death of the original Superman. Did you know that George Reeves was the first actor to play Superman? He officially died by suicide in 1959, but there were rumors that he was actually murdered. The evidence collected after his death makes it unlikely that he took his own life. Reeves was having an affair with the wife of Eddie Mannix, a well-known Hollywood producer, and it has been reported by various sources, including the Joan Crawford scandal, that Mannix was connected to the mafia. 9. Alfred Hitchcock harassed Tippi Hedren. Alfred Hitchcock harassed actress Tippi Hedren for years before the Me Too movement. Hollywood has been a place where powerful men could exploit vulnerable women. In 2016, Hedren accused Hitchcock of touching her inappropriately, attempting to kiss her, and installing a secret door between their offices. In her memoir, she wrote that Hitchcock felt entitled to her attention. The 2012 movie The Girl depicted Hitchcock's obsession with Hedren in a negative way. The allegations made by Tippi Hedren were not the first time that Hitchcock's behavior towards women had been called into question. In fact, many actresses who worked with him over the years have spoken out about his controlling and sometimes abusive tendencies. However, during Hitchcock's heyday, such behavior was often dismissed, or even celebrated as a part of his eccentric genius. It wasn't until the Me Too movement that the film industry began to truly reckon with its treatment of women. In the wake of numerous accusations against powerful men in Hollywood, including Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, and others, more and more women came forward with their own stories of harassment and abuse. 10. Charlie Chaplin's teen brides. Charlie Chaplin had 4 marriages, marrying 2 16-year-olds as his first 2 wives and his 4th wife when she was only 18. He was accused of being anti-American by U.S. Attorney General James P. McGranary and was banned from the U.S. after going to the U.K. to promote his final movie in 1952. Greta Garbo and Marlene Dietrich were rumored to have had an affair, which caused a big fight about the lost film Joyless Street. Joan Bennett, who starred in Little Women, married the film's producer Walter Wenger, who shot her agent, resulting in his serving 4 months in jail and her career's decline. Peg Entwistle, a young British actress, threw herself off the Hollywood sign and died tragically at the age of 24 after losing her contract with RKO Studios during the Great Depression. From the glamorous heights of stardom to the depths of tragedy, the stories of these Hollywood icons continue to captivate audiences decades after their passing. While their legacies are not without controversy, their contributions to the film industry and popular culture cannot be denied. As we continue to look back on the golden age of Hollywood, we are reminded of the power of storytelling and the enduring impact of those who dared to dream on the silver screen.